Why are you playing small in business and life? This is the question that appeared to me in my thinking time this past Sunday. And I actually did a small post on this on Instagram, and I thought it was worthy enough to do a long form video on it because I actually had conversations this whole past week with other women of different ages. And I asked the same question: do you think you play small in life or in business or anything that you do? And 100%, every single person I've spoken to that's a woman has said yes. And no one really understood why until I really was asking the question, why? And I'm going to ask you that question. Do you play small in life? Are you making yourself smaller or not showing up in a bigger way at work, at home, in your friend group, and the things that you want to do and dream for life because you want to make other people more comfortable with your noise, meaning like your largeness in life? Are you not filling up the space because you don't want to make someone else uncomfortable or someone's diminishing you or trying to keep you small? And I think this is something that we see happening to women a lot out in the world. I see it in schools. I see it in school-age children. I even see it in very young children in preschool groups. And it's a very interesting topic because women are taught to be nice, be nice, be nice. I remember growing up and my mom would be like, be polite, be modest, say thank you. I'm a big proponent of manners and being gracious and kind and loving, but I didn't feel that was in the frame of mind of that. And I'm not throwing shade at my mom raising me. This is how we were raised, that you minded your manners. You did not speak up unless you were asked. You didn't speak till you're spoken to. You didn't cause trouble. Don't cause trouble. Make sure that you're good, the good girl. And I remember thinking in life growing up that I wanted to do big things, but I was scared to do them because I didn't want people to judge me or feel like if I made a mistake, I didn't want people to make fun of me. That was probably one of my worst scenarios in my head, that I would mess up or say something silly or say something that wasn't right to someone, or I did something and I failed at it, or I thought people would laugh at me. And this was in my head, of course. So I think there was a lot of things in life that I didn't try, or I didn't really go for it 100%, or I would tap out because I could say, oh, it wasn't for me, versus really pushing myself to try something I really wanted to do for the fear of the judgment of other people and also to be accepted in my peer group. And that's no one else's fault but myself. And that's why I'm bringing this topic up, because I think it's an issue we see time and time again in women that are especially going through different periods of their life. We're always being measured against our peers. Women get measured against other women constantly in life. Your beauty's measured, your weight's measured, your intelligence is measured, your skin is measured. Is your skin even down to, people make comments like, oh, I don't like my lips. My lips aren't big enough like so-and-so's lips. And now we're blowing up our lips with all these injections. Or we're supposed to remain, looking like we're 25 years old for our whole life. And I'm guilty. I definitely take care of myself. I use tons of skin products. I get Botox twice a year. I'm almost 50. I'm going to be 49 in a couple months. And I take care of myself. I work out. I eat well. I wear sunscreen. I try to preserve myself. But I don't think that I'm not scared. I'm not scared to get old. And that's what I mean. Like, I think there's definitely fear in some people that there's this concept that when you get old, you're forgotten, or that you're not good enough, or you're going to be measured, you're not going to be pretty enough, or, men that, and I'm not trying to attack men here. It's like, I think women do it to themselves. And I'm bringing this up because I think there's a big issue at hand here, is that us women need to figure out, why do we play small? So that's the question you need to ask yourself first. Why do you play small? And what can you do about it? Because I think we're missing out the joys of life and our destiny of what we're supposed to become, and feeling unfulfilled because we're scared to go out there and say, this is what I want, and not be afraid to hear other people say things about you and have haters. And so many people, I think at Business Mastery I was in a couple weeks ago, one woman stood up and said she was from a different country and said she didn't want to be their face of this company because of the haters that would comment and say mean things about her online. And part of me, I was like, I don't think I would like that either, to be honest with you. And so here I am putting myself out online on YouTube for all of the world to pick apart. And I had to have a conversation with myself of, where am I playing small or just enough to kind of satisfy the itch? Or am I really being out there? And one of the areas I noticed for myself where I was playing small is that I will be big like this. I'll be on film, I'll do content, I'll do social, I'll do video. I'm very comfortable in video. I can talk amongst huge audiences. I have no problems calling people and having conversations and showing up. None of that stuff bothers me. I'll write articles, I'll speak, I'll coach. But what I noticed is I have an issue with people in my immediate small area, meaning the city that I live in and my peers and my level here in this local, hyper local area, not out in the state, not in Tom Ferry in the organization I've been coaching for over 4 years now. But a lot of people locally don't know that unless I know them personally or I've told them. So many people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize you coach. And I just thought to myself, I wonder why I've hidden that. And I wonder if it's because there's a piece of me that, if I can be honest, is that I feel that there's a judgment, or that someone would say, who is she to be coaching other people? And even though I've had a proven track record of producing, of being a top producing agent, as well as running a team, as well as being coaching for this many years in training, I don't know why that's in my head. It doesn't even warrant it. It would be different if I was pretending, like I think Ryan Stormont, I referenced him in a few videos back, that he interviewed to do $1 Million Listing. He hadn't even really sold a house yet. He was just doing rentals. So he totally was like not even legit, but totally came up confident. And I think, again, it's that whole concept of certainty. And I think playing small delves into that imposter syndrome, which I also talked about in another video, battling that little imposter and being okay with people coming up and saying, making fun of you, or you making derogatory comments, whatever they have, whatever they want to say about you. And I read this recently. This is the truth, is that anybody that's doing better than you or at your level or rising doesn't have any time to be negative to you, criticize you, or say anything bad to you. It's always the people that are playing small, always the people that are doing nothing. It's always the people that are living their own lie, that they're resentful that you're going for it. So if you are really going for it and people are coming for you, you gotta have to wonder, is it because I'm doing it and people don't like it? You're making people uncomfortable because you're doing something. That is something I realized, and I challenge you, because I've had conversations this week where playing small also is tied in with shame. That's a dirty word. Brene Brown talks about shame and vulnerability and guilt. And it's probably the lowest level vibration there is shame and guilt. And so if you fall into shame and guilt, that's a place that I think you need to address and spend some time to heal yourself, because it's going to sabotage your success and growth. And I feel that there are energy sucking vampires and opportunists out there that prey on women, particularly, that carry shame and guilt and know how to manipulate people like that. And next thing you know, you're falling into situations you don't want to be in. So this video is really just to address that topic, bring it to light, and challenge you. If you are playing small in any way, shape, or form, I am challenging you here on this video to stop, be quiet and still, and hear, what do you want? It all boils down to, what does your heart really want? And if you want things that make your heart flutter and make you nervous and uncomfortable and challenge you, don't not do it for the fear of, what will my friends say, or what will my mom say, or what will my husband say, or my family, or my kids, or the neighbor, because your heart really wants it and you're not hurting other people. If you're hurting people to do something, I'm not a proponent of that. So let's get that out of the way. We're talking about going for things that are making you grow as a human being, challenge yourself, running businesses, doing a new skill, maybe getting a new certification, maybe becoming a realtor, maybe leaving your job to do business on your own, entrepreneur. Maybe it's saying, hey, I want to get certified to teach class. Maybe it's doing something creative like photography, art. I know so many of my friends that have tapped into art. Actually, this is a beautiful painting from a dear friend and client of mine that I purchased, and she does another job, and this fills her heart, and she plays big, and she does art shows, and it's so amazing to see that talent. And when I see that, that inspires me. That's supposed to be the sun rising, and I had to have it because it makes me think of a new day, a new beginning, a new start. So if there are things in your life that you want to do, if you want to speak, if you want to do these kinds of videos, I'm like, go for it, because we are not getting any younger. For those of you that are middle-aged like myself, or even if you're young and you have babies, don't let those babies stop you from having your dreams and fulfilling the things you want. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean you don't get to be an individual too. And that's the big thing. I think when you become a mom, you think that you have to leave behind this whole piece. Well, you're a mom now, so that's not appropriate. You're a mom now, so they have to come first. You're a mom now, so you don't get to do what you want to do. You're a mom now, you have to sacrifice every piece of you. I'm not saying you don't consider your family or have consideration or conversations, but I do think that you need to advocate for the things that make you joyful and happy, because if you're full as a mom and your cup is full and you can drink from a full cup and you can give, there's so much more love and happiness. And especially those of you that have daughters, because I have 2 of them, I want them to see a happy, thriving, excited, joyful, loving, giving mother that has a full life, not just about them. And that's what I want to show them, because I want them also to have that when I'm older, in my 90s and 80s and 90s, and hopefully to the hundreds, can see them blossoming as mothers of their own with beautiful relationships. They're only going to learn that from example. So if they only see a mom sacrificing to themselves to the bone, exhausted, not rested, not taking care of themselves, not getting their hair done or their nails done or taking care or doing anything for themselves, why would they do that for themselves? Like, that's the question you have to ask. So part of what we do is lead by example in life. And I think that's a really huge piece. And I was telling someone in coaching, it doesn't have to be an either or, it can be an and. You can be an amazing, magical mother, and you can be an amazing individual woman that thrives in life and everything you want, and you can be an amazing wife and friend and daughter. It's not all at one time sometimes. Yes, you have to have little buckets that you share, but I don't think that it has to be either or. So don't sell yourself short is the moral of the story. And if you are playing small and you feel that whisper fluttering, and my husband even said, I had this thing I was saying, everybody's watching me and waiting for me to fail. And he texted me and he said, you've been saying that for 10 years, honey. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even think that's true. Really. I think I created that in my head, and that was my jail. Like, I created my own cage, which kept me small. And it was an illusion that kept me from pushing, because sometimes when you have that, you will not do things because you're like, oh, I don't want to upset anybody. So you won't do it to not upset anybody, even though your heart knows you can do more and do better. So go big, do the big things. Don't be scared to say, this is what I want, and not really care what other people want. And you're gonna make people uncomfortable. I know I make a ton of people uncomfortable. And for a long time, that really bothered me. Like, it really just upset me. I think I had a friend that said, oh, you just want to be famous and you don't really want to sell houses anymore, right? And I'm like, that's not true. I don't want to be famous. I think when you say famous, I don't want to be in the public eye where I can't have a private life and live my life. I want to have a private life. I want to travel. I want freedom. I want to be able to do things with my family. I want to be able to provide for my family and do what I want, when I want, how I want, as much as I want, and be generous and do all the fun things in life. That's what I want. I want to impact people, and it's not that I don't want to sell houses. I absolutely want to sell houses. I actually signed a listing tonight, and it was a dear friend of mine, and I'm so excited for her and to see her journey. That's a gift, to be able to help someone transition from one home to another. I know that's a gift. Will it be my life forever? I don't know, but I'm damn good at it. And I know how to do it. I know how to tell people how to do it. And I really enjoy it. So why not keep doing it? But it's like asking a doctor, are they going to be a doctor for the rest of their life and see patients forever? I think you always remain a doctor, even when you're not seeing patients. So I will always be a businesswoman. I'll always be an entrepreneur, and I'll always help people. So the path may change and be different. But I think that before, I used to take that to heart. Like, oh my gosh, what does she mean by that? And then like, oh, that's not me. So I would do everything I could do to basically not claim that is who I was. So almost like going the opposite way. So if that's an example of something that you're doing for yourself, like you're hearing someone make a comment, like, I don't think it's appropriate that you post pictures like that because you're a mom now. Well, why does someone care what you post? If they don't like it, don't look at it. As long as it's not hurting someone and it's not illegal, meaning like you're breaking federal laws and your company doesn't care about it. If you work for yourself, you do you, is always the saying. It's a you versus you game. And when you allow the noise and the chatter, because it's going to be there, to change who you are and your direction in life, that's when I think you're sabotaging yourself and you're betraying who you really are. So that's what it is. And I love that saying. Mel Robbins says, let them talk, let them say their comments, let them judge you, because you can be anything. I think that epiphany happened, and this all came from my thinking session, guys. And that's where I'm going to talk about thinking sessions and how important they are. I learned that from Business Mastery. And in just one thinking session, it kind of evolved into this. And I was like, why am I playing small? That doesn't even make any sense. So I'm standing right here. I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm going to call myself out, and I welcome you to challenge me. Please share with me and comment below. Do you think you play small? Where do you play small? And why do you think you play small? I would love to know in the comments. And if you like this content, please share it. Give me a like and share with your friends and subscribe. This journey's been evolving for me, and I get really excited to shoot content now. It's very late at night, and I was all made up, so I wanted to do it. And I'm just thrilled to share with you this journey and hope that I can help other people grow and have realization sooner than life than later. But whenever you have them, it doesn't really matter. I think long as you have them, that's what we're supposed to be. We're here on the journey, and that's what it's about, not the, finish line. So until next time, keep on living, keep on thriving, and talk to you soon.